Welcome back to Midday. We're visiting now with Tracy Moffett from Tracy Moffett and Associates. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. I'm excited about the new year.
Oh, I know, aren't we all?
Yeah, but maybe not as excited as people who get to build a new home in the new year, which is a bit of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, I thought we would touch upon that. You know, everyone opens up their Christmas gifts, they get all these great things, and maybe there are some people out there that have, you know, wished for a new home and or planning a new home. Obviously, it's, you know, difficult to start a new home like now because the ground's frozen. You know, they may start in the spring, but it's a perfect time to be doing your research on who to choose for a builder.
Right, because of course that's first step. You don't just walk out and dig the foundation. It all starts with finding the right resources, putting the right team in place, and a huge part of that is the builder.
Yeah, exactly. And there's two different types of builders out there. There's a spec builder and a custom home builder. And a lot of times people don't know the difference between the two. The custom home builder is who you want to choose when you're building your own home. A spec builder is the builder that will build a house in a subdivision and you drive up and you see the for sale sign.
Exactly. You maybe get to choose the finishings, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it's ready to go.
Yeah, and so your custom home builder is the one where you start right from the ground up. So I thought I would kind of give you the 5 top tips on what to look for when choosing your perfect builder.
Great, because people who haven't built before don't know where to start, don't know how to find a good fit or even red flags.
Well, and the building process can be overwhelming to begin with.
I think that it's like inevitably, or I've never heard anyone say like, oh, no big deal.
Yeah, well, and it can test people's marriages too, depending on how, you know, how well you get along with your spouse.
It's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
But here's a great advantage, a great way to start. So we're going to take a look at 5 tips for choosing your builder. Tip number 1.
Yeah, so the first one, of course, is focus on quality. So your first priority is to check out the quality of their work. If you've chosen a builder, you can talk to them about their past projects, check out their references, and question some of the materials that they're using in your home that you can't see. Obviously, the longevity of your home is right from the ground up. So, you know, talking to them about the materials that they use, but, you know, and talking to their past customers too, you know, the experience that they've had. And obviously, you know, if you can focus on quality, then that's just going to transform into your house that you're going to be building with them as well.
And if you put that time into checking a label on a shirt you're going to buy, or, you know, any of those reading reviews online when you're buying a product, why wouldn't you do it for something as big as your home?
Yeah, absolutely.
And yet it happens. You hear those stories where people didn't think to ask.
I know. So yeah, definitely do your due diligence, and looking at the quality of what they build is your first clue on as to what type of builder they're going to be.
Okay, tip number 2. Let's take a look.
So transparency. So a lot of the best builders that you want to work with are fully transparent. They're happy to answer any questions that you may have right from the start. They'll give you a timeline, an estimate in a timely manner as well too. They'll also talk about the relationships that they have with their sub-trades, the people that they work with, basically kind of anything that you want to ask them or you need to ask them, you should be able to ask them. So you might, obviously a red flag if you have a builder that is not answering your questions or is dodging questions. That's
or gets offended by those kinds of questions, doesn't want to talk about past relationships or history with
so the more transparent that builder can be with you, you know, again, another tick on your good list, I guess.
And I think sometimes we get excited and we just want to push past that, right? Oh, no big deal. But listen to those
and really listen to your intuition too. Like if you're not getting a good feeling from that person, there are so many builders out there. There's so many good builders out there. There's lots to choose from.
Excellent. Okay, number 3.
So you want to, in BC, you know, new homes built in BC are built by licensed residential builders, and they have to be covered by a mandatory third-party home warranty insurance. So you want to ask, you know, what type of insurance they have. You can ask to see a copy of it if you want. Also, it's good to find out if whether their company is insured with WorkSafe BC, because you want to know what type of, you know, coverage they have. If somebody gets injured on the job site, you want to make sure you're not, you know, going with a builder that's going to cut corners. So that's
and I imagine that does indicate, you know, the quality of their work. Whether they're cutting corners there probably indicates that it'll be a problem on other waterfronts as well.
Right, and it also goes right down to the when you're applying for your mortgage as well. Too, your bank is going to want to know this
Right, of
information
course.
too. So again, it's something that you should have a conversation with them about. Ask them to provide the paperwork, and they should be happy to do that. Not a problem. You can then
Perfect.
pass it on to your bank as well too.
All right, next up.
So we've got, of course, get everything in writing.
Yeah,
So you
that's
want
a
to be able
huge
to
one.
understand your contract before signing everything. This is a big one. A lot of times when you're building, things change and you may make changes, but get those verbal changes or verbal promises in writing as well. As well. Also, too, builders need to hold back 10% of the proceeds for 55 days after the completion date.
Okay.
And that is for, say they haven't paid some of their sub-trades and some of the sub-trades may have put a lien on the property. If there's a 10% holdback, that money would then pay the contractors that maybe haven't been paid.
Yeah, that built-in buffer needs to be in place.
Yeah, so there is, so make sure you're reading your contract, go to a lawyer if you need to, if you have a hard time, understanding things. But it's very important to have everything in writing throughout the whole process, not just at the beginning.
Yeah.
Any changes that are made along the way, just so there's a clear understanding between both parties.
Okay, and our last tip here, really quickly.
So completion, on the completion day or just before, you're going to want to do a walkthrough with the builder. They're going to give you a detailed orientation tour. They're going to explain what's covered with your warranty and for how long, what kind of after-sales service they'll provide, and what to expect in the first year.
Okay, so don't just get excited and move the
get the
furniture
keys,
in. Make sure you actually do that with follow-up details.
And test everything too. Test the plumbing fixtures.
Yeah.
Look for paint chips,
Bang
that
those
sort of
cabinet
thing.
doors, all that stuff.
And a lot of the stuff you're not going to be able to tell until you move in. But you get a good builder, they'll be happy to come in after and do the repairs too. No problem.
That's so great. So many people are planning this, and all the excitement and build up. You want to make sure you do it right. So this is a great starting point. Thanks so much, Tracy. If
You're
people
welcome.
want to contact you and they have more questions, where can they do that?
They can contact me through the office at 250-374-1461 or on my website, tracymoffett.com. My email's on there. Google me on the internet. I'm everywhere.
You'll
Pretty
find
easy.
her. You'll find Tracy. Excellent. Thank you so much for coming in, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
And happy building to all of you who get to do that this year. We'll be back with more Midday in just a moment.